Welcome back. Now we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers. If you have a question, visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com. Dr. Shabir, the question is from a viewer who is quoting a hadith. So the hadith says that a man came to the Prophet and said, "Where is my father?" And the Prophet replied, "In hell." When the man turned away, the Prophet called him back and said, "My father and your father are in hell." So the questioner is asking, why should the parents of our Prophet go to hell when they didn't even witness the prophethood?
Yes. So, there is a verse in the Quran, in the 17th chapter, I believe it's the 15th verse, which says, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. We're not going, this is God speaking, saying, we're not going to punish people unless we first send a messenger. So, elsewhere in the Quran, in the 36th chapter, the Quran describes the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a messenger that has come to a people مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ, whose forefathers were not warned, and thus they are in heedlessness. So the Quran, in a way, excuses those people because they did not get the message. First, the message has to be delivered. It's almost like any modern law. First, the law is promulgated and is publicized, and then if people violate the law, then they are penalized. So too, God sends a messenger. He publicizes the law of God and the teachings from God. When people violate that, that is when they are penalized. So the people before the Prophet, peace be upon him, were not warned, at least in that immediate Arabian context. And so they're not under that same jurisdiction. We can, however, say more generally that people were subject to certain bits of knowledge that they had inherited and was available to them in their time and place. And they would be responsible for following that. So they might be judged according to that. So if one takes that hadith literally and as authentically attributed to the Prophet, peace be upon him, one might say that if the Prophet's father is condemned, it's due to the fact that he did not live up to that level of knowledge which would have been available to him in his day and by which God would judge him. But only God would know that, and God could have revealed that to his Prophet, peace be upon him. On the other hand, not all Muslim scholars seem to have taken that hadith at face value. Some have argued, for example, Imam Jalaluddin as-Suyuti has argued that the parents of the Prophet, peace be upon him, are saved. They should not be thought of as condemned, and others might take the same view. In my humble estimation, we see here a two-part hadith. One is when the Prophet, peace be upon him, makes a pronouncement, "Your father is in hell." And then the second is when he calls the man back and says, "My father also." So that second part could easily be an addition by somebody into the story because they're trying to trace the logic of it and thinking that, okay, it's the Prophet's father as well. And that comes from a wider context in which Muslims were thinking at the time, what about the people before the Islamic message was revealed? And some took the view that the people were all condemned. And therefore, they have a hadith like this credited to the Prophet, peace be upon him, as if he is the one who said it to that man and who said it about his own father. So we can have different approaches to that hadith. One, by looking at the hadith in two parts, and two, by thinking about the wider context in which this discussion was going on. And in our context, we are more inclined to think that the people prior to the message being revealed to our Prophet, peace be upon him, must have been judged according to what was available in their day. For example, it mentions in Surah 5, verse 48, that God will judge people according to ma atakum, what has come to them.
Thank you for that, Dr. Shabir. That was a great answer.
You're welcome.
On behalf of Let the Quran Speak, I want to say thank you. You've helped us become the most widely watched Muslim TV show in Canada. I want to appeal to you to continue to support us. You can visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com. We also accept e-transfers to igive@QuranSpeaks.com. And we're now on Patreon, so you can make a monthly contribution. May God bless you and your loved ones today and always.